Hi, my name is Bruce Zawalsky. I'm Chief Instructor of the Boreal Wilderness Institute, author of Canadian Wilderness Survival, and today I want to talk about emergency fire lighting. So if you like this life-saving knowledge taught properly in the right environment, please support me by liking this video and following me on YouTube. So I want to talk about emergency fire lighting. So I've done a bunch of small videos breaking this whole process up, how to collect a twig bundle, how to collect wood, how to get the sticks you need. But what I want to do is put that together. And together I mean, let's say you have a problem, and that problem is the hypothermia check. So here, if you put your fingers together, that means you're not hypothermic. But if I'm like this, I'm cold, I need help, I need a fire. So I'm going to light a fire right here. Now this is only a half-size fire pit for winter, but on a day like this in April, it's going to be fine. So the first things happened is I collected some wood. So there's my wood, you can see a little bit of thing, and there's the 36 twigs that I need to get this fire going. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it together because I have no twig bundle. And I'm going to take a twig bundle, I'm going to go and grab it. I am then going to light this fire with a striker and a piece of tinder. I'm going to get the twig bundle going, I'm going to get the twigs on, and I'm going to put the beginning of my firewood on so you can see what a real fire is from start to finish. That's emergency fire lighting. That's what happens when you don't pass the hypothermia test. So follow me and let's go out in the woods, and I'm going to collect a twig bundle. So I start looking around here, and again I'm looking for white spruce trees, and there's lots of this stuff, but I'm looking for the smallest, best branches I can find. So take a look in here. What you're seeing is the right size branches. These branches are going to make my twig bundle really, really good, and I discard everything else. So I'm breaking them up, taking those twig bundles, and I'm looking for branches that are smaller than a matchstick. And my matchstick, which I show you in the video, is what I'm looking for. And I'm fast and furious about this because I got no time to waste. Okay, so I grabbed a little bit of firewood and I grabbed my twig bundle. I'm going to do a little bit of work on it, and I'm going to have to get some birch bark as well. But we'll get the birch bark back from the other direction. This kind of firewood is the kind of firewood I have. I can bust it up. You notice it doesn't bust, it busts really, really easy. That tells you the wood is pretty punky and there's not a lot of weight on it. But here, there's a little bit of a tan to it. If we look at some of this firewood I collected earlier, this one's got a little bit nicer color. And again, what I'm doing is just getting a small pile of firewood. If I overnight, I would need a waist-high pile of firewood, and that's an awful lot more. So the last thing with that twig bundle is a little bit of birch bark. Okay, so I need a little bit of birch bark for my twig bundle, and I happen to have a birch tree here. There's basically two kinds of birch bark that we might be able to collect or use in the forest that's going to be good for us for fire lighting. So it's small stuff like this, which I would collect as a tinder, or a little bit larger pieces like this that I can pull off, and anything I can pull off the tree won't kill the tree. So I would just peel a piece off like this, and there it is. And what you're looking at is a small enough piece that's dry, and I'd put two pieces like this into my twig bundle, and off I go. So now what I want to do is get ready to light this thing. So there's my twig bundle. And again, you assume it's a cold day, it's a miserable day, I'm going to pull out my striker. I'm going to put it down there, and notice here I've taken a piece of wood out. That's just a piece of poplar bark, and it's good, and I'm going to pull out one piece of tinder. And this is just a very small piece of tinder, and what it is it's a piece of cotton batten soaked in kerosene and wax. And you can see the article at boreal.net about that. I'm just going to rip it apart. So part of trying to get this done fast is that it's ready to go. And then I'm going to take my twig bundle, and I'm going to wrap my twig bundle, and I'm going to take this birch bark and I'm going to stick it inside. So you see there, it's like a nest. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that twig bundle, I'm going to put it right here. Because if I'm lighting with tinder, I may be able to get it inside, but generally what I'll do is I'll just do that, and then I'll start to go. And after that, it'll be really fast, because what I want is the 3-minute fire. I want to go from start to finish and be done. Notice I put my striker away because that'll save my life later. Okay, then 36 pencil finger and wrist thick sticks. Pulled apart just a little bit. Once that goes, then I'm going to start feeding my firewood in. And I'll look for the small stuff first that I have, and I'll start to put it in pairs. So here, put a couple more in, put a couple more in. So now I've got a decent enough fire, and that's what it takes. That's now a waist high fire. Now, one of the things to consider is, if I was building this normally, where's my shelter? My shelter is over here, 1 pace away. And there I can sit down nicely and enjoy the fire. And if I was hypothermic, I could take my gloves off and warm my hands up, because this is warming my hands. And you notice how good that fire is. Now, it will be sparky and smoky at the beginning. Once the coal bed starts to build up, then it'll be a little bit better. And that'll make the difference. So, that was fast and furious. You might not have caught all the points, but what I will do is I will link in those small videos that tell you about those specific parts in detail. Lighting a fire as an emergency fire shouldn't take you a long time. Take me a few minutes, I'm done. That's it. Now, some of you might know that I've talked a few times about the use of Latin in the backcountry. And you'll see my beautiful pocket Oxford dictionary. This dictionary isn't worth a lot out here. In flamen sinus, from flame to ash, except I'm being partially Scottish, won't burn this book, right? Because I only have one pocket dictionary at home. But in the end, that's what it's worth. Right? If you look at my capsicum notes, what are they worth? They're worth that much. Right? Because Latin isn't going to save your life out here in the boreal forest. What's going to save your life is going to be real knowledge taught properly and functionally done. That doesn't mean that there's not a use for Latin, but it isn't going to be something that's important. What's important for us is real knowledge of survival and fire lighting, which is one of the things I'm talking about today. So if you like this useful life-saving knowledge that you learn on this channel, then please support me by following me on YouTube, liking this and other videos on the channel, and following me at the Boreal Wilderness Institute on Facebook. Thank you. Stay safe. And if you're stranded out in the wilderness, then just simply stop and survive.